What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. I'm Tank from Tank's Garage. Starting today, we are going to update the stance on the daily driver by putting a 3.5-inch lift on it. Got us a rough country lift on the Jungle website. Comes with everything we should need to get the looks of the truck exactly how I would prefer it. Strut spacers, upper A-arms, this is the rear shocks. You're going to need to put longer rear shocks on it, being that you're lifting it. This is the U-bolts for the new shock hardware. I mean the block for the axle. Sorry. This appears to be shock extensions. Another shock. More U-bolts. Here's the other A-arm and strut tower. Constructions, definitely going to need those. And here's the blocks for the rear end. So, seems like we have everything we need to put a 3.5-inch lift on our 2021 Silverado Z71. Pardon the noise in the background. I'm cooking some supper for me and the missus, the boss. So, stay tuned. Starting tomorrow morning, we'll get a little bit better light. We will start putting this on the truck. I know I said in the short that there will be much needed shop upgrades, which that will happen. That will happen at the end of the lift installation. You will see the upgrades that I am doing to the garage shop area. So stay tuned for that as well. Thank you. Also, I would ask y'all to please like and subscribe to the channel. That way we can grow the channel, get bigger and better. Bear with my editing skills. I am learning a little bit, so it's kind of slow process, but it seems to be that this video is going to be a little bit nicer, if not a lot nicer compared to my first one. There is more content coming on my daily driver. I'll probably put a sneak peek photo at the end of the video so people can kind of guess what's going to happen. I am looking, like I said, for a project car currently. Once I get something that we can make good content with, hopefully I find a nice project car soon. And I am also in the process of trying to get a good car hauler trailer. Once I get that, there will probably be some upgrades made to it first thing when we get it, such as like adding a winch to it, a toolbox, kind of getting it ready for road trips, you know, tools that I stay in it, things of that nature. So, like I said, guys, please bear with me as I grow the channel and try to create new content. I also might start filming like the oil changes on my truck, the oil change on my wife's car, things of that nature, just to kind of keep putting content out of there so I don't lose any interest of the devoted fans and people who are interested in seeing my videos. Thank you. Tomorrow morning we will definitely start installing the lift kit on our truck. And stay tuned, and I'll show y'all to the best of my abilities how to exactly do that. Thank you. Why not stay the fuck out of my way? This is pretty tight. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the caliper anyway, and get it hung up. That way it'll be out of our way. This boat's got some red Loctite on it. My little ratchet here don't particularly care for that. Alright, caliber is coming off. We're going to get something here in just a second to hang this with. Let me find something. Be right back. So guys, I found an S hook sitting over there on my shelf. I put it in this hole in the frame right here, and then I just hooked the bolt hole onto it, so get the calipers just hanging there. We're going to tuck this up out of the way. Now all of our wires are out of the way, and we can start breaking this stuff loose. Taking the top 3 bolts off of the strut, busting the ball loose, the topper ball joint. Then we need to remove this lower sway bar link off of that, and then remove the tie rod. Once we do that, we'll be able to pull our strut out, and then we could get our strut spacer on top, and then we'll be able to put the shock back in. Be with you in just a minute once I have a few things ready. What I normally do is strike this with a hammer right here, because this is on a taper, so it's pulled up right now and it's not gonna pop out. But if you hit it a few times, see it popped. So now I can take this off and this A-arm will come free and this will lay down. Do the same thing. You do the same thing on these knuckles. For your tie riding, there's a taper. You strike that down there and it'll pop out. And then that should be everything. as far as taking this off and letting this knuckle lay down so you can get these struts loose. Okay guys, this back stud back here, whew, the pain. Once you get these out, your strut should start coming out. Then you can work your strut out of this hole, out of the hole, and then bring it to your bench and put your spacer on, and then work on removing top A arm. Strut has to be out to do that because the hardware is on the inside of this pocket here. Let me get y'all down so you can see it. The hardware for the A-arm is tucked up in here and one right here. So the strut definitely has to be out of the tower for you to be able to get that out. I thought I had a ratchet wrench to make this a little bit quicker, but you know, old school, better than none. No big deal. Slow and steady always wins the race. At least that's what we always taught. Once again, sorry about the poor lighting. Hopefully, I'll be able to upgrade that soon in here. Get some better lighting going on for you. Also, for the front end, there's like a 1.5 inch, maybe 2 inch drop that you have to put where the sway bar mounts to the frame. You have to push it down, I reckon, so it's not in such a bind. So you do have to lower that down, but the kit does come with that piece. As far as the A-arm, you have to use your factory hardware. And then in the back, you are supplied with a block and new U-bolts. And then you use your factory axle plate and hardware for that. Once again, guys, please bear with me. For I know my video quality probably isn't the greatest. Like I said, I am just learning how to do all this. As far as YouTubing, and it's just another hobby for me, I reckon. Let's see. Let me see here. My bottom bolt for my strut has got me. Hold on 1 second, guys. We're gonna work it out of there. I do suggest wearing some type of hand protection. I don't have any at the moment, because there's some definite pinch points around. So once you have this out, pull your strut out, work on getting your A-arm bolts. Let's see. Let me get this out of here so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, the strut is out. Okay, so right here is one A-arm bolt, and then here's your other one. And I believe those are 21 millimeters, I want to say. And the chart, yes, 21, and I believe an 18 on this side. The chart that is provided with the instructions and stuff on the very front, it tells you all the tools that you need, and it tells you torque specs. So my suggestion is, you get it good and tight, and then put a torque wrench on it. This is suspension parts. You don't want things coming apart as you're driving. because that can cause some serious problems, you know, especially if you have your loved ones in the vehicles. You want to keep them as safe as possible. If you do not have a torque wrench, Harbor Freight sells a decent torque wrench for a fairly decent price. I think 30, 40 bucks. And it'll get you out of a bind. It'll take care of everything you need to do around the house. Now, if you're doing this every day, all day long, yes, get a good, expensive torque wrench. But if you're just doing this like you're doing, like I am, a weekend warrior project, a good cheap torque wrench probably will do everything you need it to do. Don't seem like I have a 21 millimeter wrench, but maybe we can get it with a crescent wrench, you know what I mean? Yeah, that one don't fit that great. Now this probably got some oomph to it, so you're gonna have to put your purse down to get it off. But once you get it going, it seems to be fairly easy. Breaking it loose, you're definitely gonna have to put your purse down for it. Okay, there's one out. All right. I'm sure once this is all taken apart, it's gonna fit like a glove. You know what I mean? There's your second one. Whew. I ain't taking my own advice. Must have still had my purse in my hand on that one. Took me a little bit more. Well, there you go. Make sure you got good jack stands underneath your truck. A good jack. Typically what I do is after I get my tire off, I lay it underneath the frame. And then I put my truck on a good jack stand. And that way if the truck decides to fall off the jack stand, God forbid, it will crush the rim and the tire instead of you. And I don't know about the rest of you guys. I would rather replace a tire and a rim versus trying to get my sternum or my face or my skull reconstructed because I was being silly. So be careful when you're doing this. If you're not comfortable doing this, bring it to someone that is a professional. Okay, guys. All right. Now we have our strut on the bench. These are not specific to side. You're going to line up your 3 holes and stick this on. Now, something you are going to have to do is trim these factory bolts. Because as you can see, right here, this is my bolt sticking through the top hole. That is not going to work. So, get your factory nuts, put on them, and put them on there. Make sure you got enough to clear this bottom one because you have these knurled bolts like a lug nut or a lug for a truck that is going to press into this hole. Into this hole, and that is going to be your new top bolt. You're going to have to hit that down in there, and that's not the factory stud, you're gonna have clearance issues. So you definitely need to cut some of that off. And give me a second. I'm gonna get the def wheel out, and I'm gonna show y'all what we got. Okay, guys. So what I did here is I took my factory bolts and I put them back on. And I left a 16-inch gap, 16th inch from the top to the top. Give me a little extra, and I'm just gonna take my def wheel and cut this bolt off flush using my nut to correct the threads as they come off. That way, whenever I put my spacer on, I'll have ample amount of room to get my nut on it, and it won't affect the new hardware that is gonna go into the shock tower to bolt this back in. Stay with me, I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I have the studs cut off and the nuts come back off, what I'm gonna turn my attention to is you could probably pull them up when you bolt them in, but I'm gonna take a big punch and I'm gonna drive these knurls till they seat good, just like that. That way I'm not fighting with it spinning on me. Just a little step further, and I'm sure it'll make my life a little bit easier. And I'm all about that. I'm sure you guys that are out there doing this kind of stuff wants to do it the easiest and best way possible. Once again, please forgive me for the background noise. The little ones are out playing, so they're having fun and making noise. So once again, sorry about that. Okay guys, got the new A-arm stab, and I got it about where it was. Now I'm going to get the strut back in, try to get it loosely in here, get my bottom one stabbed in, and then start reassembling everything, a little bit at a time. So I'll keep y'all posted. Thank you. Get your jack stands underneath your frame here. Get your jack underneath your pumpkin of your rear end right here. That way whenever you take these blocks off, you can lower down, slip your block right in here. This block goes in like this, like that. The taper, the short end is going to come to the front of the truck. Then you put your factory plate on, and then you put your hardware on, and then Bob is your uncle.